I'd accepted an invitation from Blair Hopper to spend a week duck hunting on his plantation just outside a little sharecropper town called Laketon. On the last day of my visit, I'd gone out alone. On the previous day, Hopper had fallen and twisted an ankle rather badly. The ducks weren't too plentiful. I thought I'd winged one. That started my search. And then I saw it. From 10 feet away, I could see there was nothing I could do for the girl. She was dead. Her skull had been crushed. I recognized her as the girl who'd been at the Harper home a few days before to help with the house cleaning. I didn't know her name. You had here a few days ago helping with the cleaning.
Ruthie Bates? What about her?
She's dead.
Dead?
What do you have around here in the way of a police force?
Well, there's Jim Usher, town constable at Laketon.
I'll call him.
How'd she die?
The hard way. She was murdered. Yeah, I'll get over there right away, Mr. Adams. Right away. No, there ain't no need for y'all to go back down there. I'll stop by the Hopper place when I get through at the lake. Ring me, Doc Gage, Ellie Mae. Oh, you were listening, huh? Yeah, terrible thing. Terrible. Now, listen, Ellie Mae. You get hold of the doc. Tell him I'll pick him up in just a few minutes. Constable Usher has suggested I wait for him at Harper's. That was fine with me. My only concern or interest in the death was whether it would prevent me from leaving the following morning.
Well, I hope Usher does make you stay around for a while, Dan. Give this ankle of mine a little more time to mend. Give us some more time for hunting.
Well, I'd like that. I have to get back to work.
Oh, don't worry about Usher. For a backwoods constable, he does a pretty good job.
Good enough to find whoever killed that girl?
Oh, if he wants to.
Well, why wouldn't he?
Well, he might suspect the killer is important to him personally. You see, Usher's running for county sheriff. He wants the job so bad he can taste it. He won't do anything that'll hurt his chances of getting in.
And solving a murder would hurt him?
These are strange people around here, Dan. They're not easy to understand.
Well, from the way you're talking, I'm glad I don't have to. Poor Ruthie, she deserved better than this.
Funny.
What?
Ruthie's brother being run down and killed on the Thurston Road a couple of months ago. And now this.
Well, that's the way things happen sometimes. Look here. Here's something maybe ain't no coincidence. See them footprints? Shoes don't match. These other prints are from the rubber boots of that Adams fella. You thinking the same thing I am, Doc?
Ben Turner. I made that orthopedic shoe for his right foot myself.
You all help to get the body back to town, will you, Doc? I'll send out a truck.
You going out to the Turner place?
Yeah, but first I want to talk to that Adams fella, up to Mr. Harper's. When Constable Usher arrived, he had only one question to ask me. It was whether or not I'd seen anyone near the lake at the time I discovered Ruthie Bates' body. No, Constable, no one.
Well, it ain't too important, Mr. Adams. We got some footprints tell us just about all we need to know.
Footprints?
Down by the dock.
You saw them too, huh? Those prints belong to Ben Turner, Mr. Hopper.
Who's Ben Turner?
He's handicapped, Dan. The boy's not too bright, but he's not violent. Not as far as I know.
No, me either. But Ben's a kind of strange one. He got a lot of bad feelings bottled up inside of him.
What do you mean?
Well, now, you take the time that Ruthie's brother got killed in that automobile accident. Ruthie went to stay with Mrs. Turner, and Ben... Well, one night, Ben asked Ruthie to go to the movies with him, and she just laughed at him and kind of poked fun at his limp.
Sounds like a charming girl.
It hurt Ben pretty bad. I talked to him right afterwards. He told me so. Said he'd like to kill her. Well, I got to get over to Turner place. You all leaving in the morning, Mr. Adams?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, now, I don't see no reason why I shouldn't go right along. Mighty glad to have met you, sir.
Let me know what happens, Jim.
I'll do that, Mr. Hopper. Sure will.
Usher's lucky this time.
What do you mean?
As I said before, Ben's not too bright. He didn't register to vote.
Late that afternoon, Harper had a call from Constable Usher. Ben Turner was missing. He hadn't shown up at his home. Apparently, he was on the run. Usher had deputized a half dozen men and was starting a search of the countryside with the help of bloodhounds. Now, I think I'll go upstairs and start packing before dinner.
All right, Dan.
Stay put. I'll get a flare.
Who is it? Ben Turner.
Boy's in bad shape, Blair. He's so exhausted he can't talk.
Put him on the couch.
I'll get him a glass of water.
They're heading for the Harper place.
They're after me on account because I seen Ruthie Bates. I just seen her, and then after the car went off,
Car? What car?
Thanks for the water, Mr. Harper.
Did you see a car at the lake before you found Ruthie Bates?
Oh, I didn't see it real good.
You didn't see who was driving it?
No.
Can you describe the car?
No, I can't.
Look, son, if you know anything...
I don't know nothing. I could go.
Ben! You wait right here. Nobody's going to hurt you. I'll let them in. I told Usher about Ben mentioning a car driving away from the place where Ruthie Bates' body had been found, and Ben's odd refusal to answer any questions about it.
Well, I'll ask Ben some more about that, Mr. Adams. I sure will. You're lying again. Whose car was it that you seen? Whose was it?
Yours. Yours.
That's right, Ben. It was my car that you seen.
But I ain't gonna tell, Mr. Usher. You've been good to me and Ma. I ain't gonna get you into no trouble on account of that Ruthie Bates.
They're going to make you tell, Ben. The county prosecutor and the sheriff. They're going to be here in the morning. They're going to make you tell just like I made you just now.
No.
And if you don't tell, they're going to put you on trial for murder, Ben. For murder. Just as sure as shooting. We can't have that, can we, Ben? We can't have you being blamed for something you didn't do.
No, sir.
So we gotta do something, boy. Tell you what I'm gonna do, Ben. I'm gonna let you escape.
Escape?
You just trust me, boy. Just trust me.
I got away from the Harper house at dawn the next morning. It was a 2-hour drive to catch my plane, but there was something gnawing at the back of my mind, and I had to check it before I left Laketon. It was something I thought I might have overlooked, but I hadn't. The only footprints around the spot where I'd found Ruthie Bates' body were those of Ben Turner. There were none that could have been made by Ruthie herself. That could only mean that the girl had been killed somewhere else and her body had been carried to the lake. I had to see Constable Usher. He had the wrong person in jail. Ben Turner couldn't have carried Ruthie Bates 2 feet, much less the distance from the road to the lake.
Here we are, Ben. Now, you all remember what you're supposed to do. You go to the old Donaldson place on Mule Creek and just lay low and wait for me. Now, take the coffee, Ben. Take it. Now, do like I told you, Ben. Hurry up. We gotta get this over while there still ain't nobody on the street. Take my pistol, Ben. My pistol. Get it. Take it, Ben. Hurry. Now, do like I said. Now, get out of here, Ben. Get out of here, Ben. Go on, get. Wanting to leave Laketon, so don't worry about staying around. As a witness, I mean. You just go along like you planned.
My plans have just been changed, Usher.
Dan, all right. So maybe Ben Turner didn't kill Ruthie Bates. But the fact remains he was trying to escape from jail.
Escape?
Well, wasn't he?
Blair, you know as well as I do, that poor befuddled kid couldn't have broken his way out of a telephone booth without help.
Are you suggesting that Jim Usher?
Yes.
And then shot him down in cold blood?
Exactly.
Well, that's hard to believe.
Murder always is.
Supposing what you say is true, what do you think could be done about it?
You live here. You tell me.
I'll tell you nothing. Dan, I know these people. They won't stand for an outsider interfering with...
You're not an outsider.
Well, to them I am. Well, they accept me, of course, because a lot of them work for me. But I'm as dependent on them as they are on me. Maybe more so.
Blair.
Look, Dan, I've got a big investment here. Everything I have in the world is sunk into this place. Those people could ruin me in just 1 week by letting my crops stand in the field.
And you're not going to do anything?
I can't. Don't you understand, Dan? It's different with you. Whatever happens, you can walk away when it's over. I can't. I have to stay here. I have to live with the consequences. Well, I want to help you, and I'd like to help you. But I can't risk ruining everything I've spent a whole life building up. Don't you understand that, Dan? All right, so I'm a coward. That's what you're thinking. Let's let it go at that.
I don't want to let it go at that, Blair. There's still time to change your mind. You think about it.
I will.
I hope you do. I knew the smart thing to do would be to leave, to go home, go back to Coronado, try and forget it. But I could never forget it. A handicapped, harmless boy being shot down like an animal. So the smart thing would have to wait.
How are you, boys?
That Adams fella just went by.
I seen him.
He headed for Doc Gage's office. He's been all over town asking questions about Ben Turner and Ruthie Bates.
Well, it's a free country. There ain't no law against asking questions. That's the way with a stranger, though. They come into a place, they think they know more about what should be done than the people who've lived and worked there all their lives. People that really belong and have a right to speak out. Well, I gotta get over to the county seat. Talk to the sheriff about Ruthie and Ben. You know, I sure feel bad about what I had to do to Ben. And it seems like that Adams fella sure got it in his head to rub salt into my wounds. Well, there ain't nothing I can do about it.
I heard you were around town asking questions, Mr. Adams. I kind of figured you'd be getting around to see me sooner or later.
Sounds like you know something.
Well, a country doctor gets to know just about everything about everybody in town.
I understand you're a deputy coroner in this county. You performed an autopsy on Ruthie yet?
Yes, I did.
What'd you find?
Well, Ruthie was killed by 3 heavy blows to the head. Now, these are her things right here. And this is the dress she was wearing. And I found this sewn up in the hem of it. 7 $100 bills. Now, for a girl who's probably never had more than $5 at one time in her life, that's a lot of money.
So where'd you get it?
Well, now, there are 4 or 5 people in the county with $700 in one hunk. But there's only one I can think of who might have given it to Ruthie.
Constable Usher?
How'd you think of that?
Because you haven't turned it over to him yet.
You don't need a brick house to fall on you, do you, Mr. Adams?
Why would Usher give Ruthie money?
I don't know. I'm not a guessing man myself, but if I were, I'd guess that it had something to do with Ruthie's brother getting killed a month or so ago.
I heard about that. He was killed in an automobile accident.
Not just an accident, Mr. Adams. It was a hit-and-run accident. And the whole thing was hushed up mighty quick after it happened. Well, I'll keep these here until I can turn them over to the county sheriff or the prosecutor, or find somebody to turn them over for me.
You know, it's possible Ruthie was murdered by somebody that knew she had that $700 and was trying to rob her.
Yes, it's possible, all right, but knowing Ruthie,
You don't think so?
Well, I'm just a country doctor, Mr. Adams. Right now, I've got some patients waiting for me. See you again, Mr. Adams.
All right, Doc. Thanks.
What's the matter, mister? Can't you get your car started?
Doesn't look that way.
When you do get it started, keep driving.
We don't want you or need you around here, mister. Asking questions, stirring up trouble. Let me see what's wrong with your car, mister.
Start him on his way. You get your car and follow us. ahead, mister. Keep driving.
This afternoon.
Well, I heard there was some trouble.
It was worth it. It taught me the rules you played by in this stinking little cesspool you call a town. Now that I understand the rules, we'll play it your way.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to get the truth out of you. We'll start with Ruthie Bates. She was blackmailing you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It had something to do with her brother being killed in that hit-and-run accident, didn't it? That's why you gave her the money.
Oh, where would I get $700 to?
Then how do you know that's the exact amount she had? What happened? Did you find out it was your car that killed her brother? Or one of your friends, maybe?
No.
Like the two that worked me over in the street this afternoon?
No.
It was your car Ben Turner saw down by the lake.
No.
He didn't want to say anything because he liked you. You were his friend. You'd been good to him, and he trusted you. You used that trust to sucker him into a phony escape. And then you shot him down.
No.
I want the truth.
All right. All right.
Dan, Jim. I thought you'd gone home.
I came back.
Did you forget something?
Tell him.
Tell me what?
He knows.
He knows what?
Now, there ain't no use you yelling and threatening like you done before, Mr. Usher. He's called the state police, and they're on their way.
I know you killed Ruthie Bates. It was your car that was involved in that hit-and-run accident. Usher was enough of a policeman to uncover that, but he kept it quiet. In return for your money to pay for his campaign as county sheriff. Then Ruthie got in the act. She heard you and Usher talking one day when she was working here. She blackmailed Usher for $700, but Ruthie wasn't satisfied. She decided to play both sides of the street and came to you. She asked you for money, a great deal of money. You lost your temper, hit her with a poker, and killed her. And because of your bad ankle, you had to have help to get rid of the body. So you called Usher. Usher here was hooked. He had to help you. So he put Ruthie's body in his car, drove it down to the lake, and dumped it. But there was a hitch. Ben Turner saw Usher drive away.
I had to do it, Dan. I had to. The accident was my fault. I didn't have to run away. I'd have been nailed for manslaughter. I'd have lost everything and wound up in prison. I guess I'd have been better off there than where I will wind up.